Hi, good evening everybody. This is Thursday and it's about 6:30 and I thought I'd make a very short video, and I mean a short video, about being off-grid because I'm not actually off-grid. I do have an electricity supplied here to the cottage and I have a little pay-as-you-go meter. So I don't actually have electric bills and I monitor my electricity use very carefully. But I'm actually off-grid in many ways. So I'll just talk you through them. First of all, I have an off-grid hot water supply. The hot water supply comes from a tank just there behind that curtain, and the tank is fed from a smaller tank inside this stove, and the water is circulated in to the stove and back to the tank, and that doesn't actually need to have a pump or anything for that to happen. So all my hot water is off-grid. I also have an oven in this stove. This is a Waterford Stanley stove, by the way. It's made here in Ireland. And again, the stove actually heats up the oven. I've just lit the stove, by the way, so you can see the oven temperature is low, but it does get up to about 200 degrees, and that's fine for baking cakes and for baking bread. So that's also completely off-grid. I also have a cooking facility on top of the stove because it's got one, two, three, four, five. It's actually got 5 cast iron little hobs on it, little plates, where I can cook a dinner for 6 to 8 people with ease. That is also off-grid. I also have the facility to boil my kettle to make all my tea and coffee on the stove, which is as well off-grid. Now, there is part of the stove which relies on the grid, and that is for heating the radiators. And you can see just through there's the first radiator in the sitting room. And there's another radiator over here. Okay. And there are radiators in the bathroom and the bedrooms and all over the cottage. That relies on a little pump, and the pump just pumps the water around the radiators. Now, if I don't have any electricity at all, I can still run my stove. The only thing I don't have then is the central heating. And in order to relieve the pressure on the tank, because the tank gets bubbling hot, I would just run off hot water. I'd run off hot water down the sink, or, have a shower or wash some clothes. But in terms of being off-grid, I have all those. I have my baking, my cooking, my boiling water, my water in my tank for the shower, for the bath, for the sinks, and that's all off-grid. So that's off-grid without solar panels and off-grid without wind turbines. So it's quite amazing, when you realise how much you can have in your home which is off-grid. And this stove, by the way, is fuelled by wood. It's also fuelled by multi-fuel, so you can put other fuels into it, but primarily I'm using wood. So there we go. It's, I suppose in total, the energy that I use here in my home would be somewhere in the region of about 80 to 85% off-grid, without turbines and without solar panels. I think that's the way to go. That's pretty something really, isn't it? So, the other thing I wanted to add on to this is I am going to read some more of my book, but I'm not going to read it and put it up on YouTube. I'm going to put it straight onto the website, which is beltonacottage, all one word, .com. beltonacottage.com. Now you can hear the kettle beginning to sing. The kettle's coming to the boil. I'm going to have a nice cup of tea. Off grid. I'll speak with you later. Bye.